Nursing school is hard and it's not for everybody, but let me tell you this. If you made it through this program or you got admitted, okay, there's a reason why you're in the program. Somebody in the admissions team at least believed in your credentials prior to you coming in. So don't give up, okay? It seems like it's endless, but it will end eventually. And it's worth it. You have to remember your reason why. Why did you want to become a nurse, okay? If those reasons are not strong enough, you will give up. And that's fine, because if you don't have a strong why, you won't have anything to stand on to keep you motivate you to keep going. Your why should be the reason why you're continuing the program, okay? And it should not be money. Money is never a good reason to do something that you're absolutely miserable in, because like there's people that hate their jobs and they're making millions and millions of dollars and they're not happy. You know why? Because money is not everything. If money is the only reason why you went into nursing, you're going to be miserable in nursing school if you're not motivated. You don't have any other motivations, okay? The money is great, but you have to have other motivation. Do not give up. Try everything in your power to try and pass. You do not need to get in straight A's. You do not need to get 90s or 100s. You just need to pass. Just pass and then study for your NCLEX, okay? It doesn't matter. Like when you apply for these jobs, these hospitals are not going to care what your GPA was in nursing school. So stop killing yourself. Pass it, understand the material, and pass the NCLEX. The NCLEX is the ultimate test, because with that, it doesn't matter what grade you got in school if you can't pass the freaking exam that you need to get licensed. If you don't have this license, you won't get a job. It doesn't matter if you were the top valedictorian in your high school or in the college that you go into. I know it's hard, but hang in there. You're going to do this. If you're religious, pray about it. If you're not, find out why you're not doing well. Is it med surg? Like, what class are you struggling with? Talk to your professor. Find out what you're doing wrong. A lot of nursing school is just learning how to take the test. It's not even about how much you know. It's how do you take that damn test. Learn how to take the test and you're going to be fine, because at the end of the day, you're going to get trained on the job on how to be a real nurse, okay? The real training begins when you're on the floor as a new nurse. You're going to be going through orientation. That's when the real training starts, okay? Just get through the bookwork. Study. Don't wait a week before your exam to study. Do not just read your PowerPoints and your notes and think it's going to be okay. You need to test yourself. If you had one test, okay, so you know how the teacher likes to question you, how they like to ask you things on the test. Use your last test as your guide when you're studying. When you study your PowerPoints, make questions out of those PowerPoints, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen at the test. The test is going to ask you what you've learned. If you memorize stuff and your first time you're being asked a question about it is on your test, you're gonna fail. Okay, so when you're going through your PowerPoints, your notes, make questions out of each bullet point. Okay, so if you're learning about diabetes or A1C, what's a normal A1C, or blood pressure, if you're in fundamentals, you're learning about a normal blood pressure. Ask yourself, what is a normal blood pressure? What is considered high? What's a normal respiratory rate? You need to ask yourself these questions, because that's what's going to be asked on the test with multiple choices. That's it. Learn to take the test and you're gonna be okay. You do not need to give up now. You may need to take a break, get your mental health right, but you're gonna do this. You can do this, okay? Find out what you're doing wrong. People do not take their previous test they take seriously, to try to help you, guide you for the next one. You know you failed the first one, don't fail the next one. Don't study the same way you studied the first one. It clearly didn't help you. Talk to your professor and be like, hey, all right, let's go over these questions together. Why did you pick this answer versus that answer? Literally, you guys, trust me. I'm telling you, if you know how to take a test, you're going to pass nursing school, okay? Just learn how to take tests. Learn how to study effectively. It's not all about memorization. So, like, if you cannot answer a question about something you just memorized, if you're just memorizing information, but you're not, like, questioning and, like, answering your own questions to what you've studied, you're not going to do well. The first time you see a question about a topic you study should not be on your test. Once you study, you need to get your 2 weeks, study your points and memorize them. But then grab your partner, record yourself, ask yourself questions based on those notes, okay? Ask it in so many different ways that you can answer it no matter how it's worded. That's how you make it through, okay? That's how I made it through nursing school. And I was playing rugby and I was working part-time. All right, so you have to stay motivated. You need to find your reason and stand on it. Pray about it. Don't pay attention to what everyone else is doing. Focus on you. Focus on passing. You don't need to get the highest grade, but you need to pass. Okay. Obviously, it would be great to get hundreds, but you're not gonna do. You don't got time for that. You need to study what you need to know, and take the test. Nursing school is all about who can take a good test. You have to be a good test taker, because you can memorize all the information in the world, but if you can't take the test, it doesn't mean anything. So hang in there, sis. Hang in there, bro. You can do this. You just need to figure out how to study better. Okay, if you like, well, I've studied 5 hours and I still can't pass the test. No, you're not. It doesn't matter how long you study, it's how you study. Okay, you got to study to the test, study to the forms of questions. Most nursing schools, the questions are going to be multiple choice. Learn how to figure out multiple choice questions. When you, after studying a certain topic, go online, Google that topic, and then do questions related to that. This will really test your knowledge. This will really test to see how well you really know this information. You think you know it until they ask you a weird question. Like, oh, okay. Now, if you don't know something, this is a good way to think your way through it. Like, how do I eliminate, this answer versus that answer? That's all. But do whatever you do. As I said, sometimes you need a break because there's a lot going on. But do not give up. You got this. Being a nurse was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And when things got tough, I remembered my why, and I stood on business and I continued. I found a better way to study. For me, the two classes that I struggled with was mostly pharmacology and women's health. I still got like 90s in there, but they were the ones I had to put more effort into. So find where your strengths and your weaknesses are. But before, there's nothing wrong with giving up. If you absolutely know this is not for you, fine, because the last thing we want is nurses who we don't like their jobs. If you know and you deep in your heart that this is not for you, by all means, go do something else. But if you're just giving up because you don't feel like you're a good test taker, there's ways around that. Sometimes you may need to take a break, refresh, and come back, and that's okay. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to finish the program, as long as you finish. Okay, just hang in there. I got you. You're gonna do great. Just regroup, come back, and ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Everyone wants you to do good. Your professors want you to do good. None of the schools want you to start nursing school and fail. Okay, nobody wants you to fail. Nobody's against you. Just do your best, pass the test, write good essays, do things ahead of time. Don't wait last minute to try and do stuff. Don't wait until it's the end of the semester to try and get help. When you fail your first test or your second test, this is your chance. Like, this is it. You just should have opened your eyes to trying to get some help and figure out what you did wrong the first time so you don't repeat the same mistake. Most people wait until it's too late when they're already at like a 69 point something and they need like an 80 to pass, and then all this pressure is like on one test. If you do good in the beginning, you can relax in the end, because now you're not fighting for your life to try to get a B so you can pass and move on to the next course. Okay, so please find out what you're doing wrong early. Study, quiz yourself. I'm telling you, quiz yourself. This will tell you how much you actually know. You'd be surprised. You think you memorize all this stuff, and then somebody asks you something, then you're like, dang, I really don't know this stuff. So hang in there. You can do this. If it's meant to be, it's gonna happen, but you do have to put the work into it. Ask me any questions. If there's anything I can do to help. Bye-bye.